My name is Leilani Thatcher, a tour guide at the Library of Lost Things. This is The Doorstep Project, episode 38, Quoth the Raven. How much do you really know about Edgar Allan Poe? You probably know that he wrote the poem The Raven. It's one of his most popular and perhaps even his best work. His short story, The Telltale Heart, is often required reading in public school in America. Some of his other works include The Cask of Amontillado, Shadow, and Murders in the Rue Morgue. Each of these focusing on the darker aspects of the human life, death, sickness, and vengeance. But how much do you really know about Edgar Allan Poe? Other than his writing, you probably know how horrifying that can be. That may be all that you know. Did you know he was married? Her name was Virginia Eliza Clem Poe. They were married for 11 years and reportedly had a happy marriage. Edgar Allan Poe kept his wife comfortable through her life until she passed at the age of 24 from tuberculosis. While he was usually in financial trouble, he managed to keep a piano in their home to satisfy her love of music. She wrote a poem for him as a Valentine, and while their marriage was considered controversial, Poe was, from all accounts, a loving husband. How much do you know about Edgar Allan Poe? Do you know about the poem he wrote after the death of his wife? Annabel Lee. It was many and many a year ago in a kingdom by the sea that a maiden there lived whom you may know by the name of Annabel Lee, and this maiden she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. I was a child, and she was a child in this kingdom by the sea, but we loved with a love that was more than love, I and my Annabel Lee, with a love that the winged seraphs of heaven coveted her and me. And this was the reason that long ago in this kingdom by the sea, a wind blew out of a cloud, chilling my beautiful Annabel Lee, so that her high-born kinsman came and bore her away from me to shut her up in a sepulchre in this kingdom by the sea. The angels not half so happy in heaven when envying her and me. Yes, that was the reason, as all men know in this kingdom by the sea, that the wind came out of the cloud by night, chilling and killing my Annabel Lee. But our love, it was stronger by far than the love of those who were older than we, of many far wiser than we, and neither the angels in heaven above, nor the demons down under the sea can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabel Lee. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabel Lee, and the stars never rise but I feel the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabel Lee. And so all the night tide I lie down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride, in her sepulchre there by the sea, in her tomb by the sounding sea. As I said, this poem was written very soon after the death of his beloved wife, Virginia Poe. This poem is a beautiful depiction of grief and love. It's not the horrifying story we've grown to expect from everyone's favorite horror writer. Annabel Lee is instead about a man who loved a woman so much that he laid beside her grave every night just to be near her. This man felt that someone or something took his love from him because of jealousy. This narrator is angry and broken-hearted to the point of complete surrender. On this, we are reminded of Poe's other stories, where hopelessness is often felt by the characters. Maybe you're beginning to realize that despite everything I've said so far, you really do know who Edgar Allan Poe is. He had a dark view on everything in life, darkened only further as his life continued. During a time like this in our own lives, it's common for people to turn to those they love for support, perhaps parental figures. Poe's father abandoned him when he was 2 years old. His mother died when he was 3. He had foster parents, but the relationship between Poe and John Allan, his foster father, was strained. Poe had many debts, and while John Allan was supportive of his foster son, There comes a time when too much is too much. Not much is known about his foster mother, Frances Allan, except that her death was hard on the then 20-year-old writer. Later, an almost 40-year-old man with no wife, no mother of any discernible kind, wrote this poem. To my mother, because I feel that in the heavens above, the angels, whispering to one another, can find among their burning terms of love none so devotional as that of mother. Therefore, by that dear name I long have called you, you who are more than mother unto me, and fill my heart of hearts where death installed you in setting my Virginia spirit free. My mother, my own mother, who died early, was but the mother of myself. But you are mother to the one I loved so dearly, and thus are dearer than the mother I knew by that infinity with which my wife was dearer to my soul than its soul life. A poem not written to his mother, or to his beloved foster mother, instead written to someone so special, to his wife. A thank you note to the woman who cared so deeply and dearly for her daughter and her son-in-law. How much do you really know about Edgar Allan Poe? He was a writer of horrific fiction, of terrifying poetry, of absolute hopeless fantasy. He is known as one of the first murder mystery writers, and also thought to be the first science fiction writer. He was born, lived, and died in a world full of death and grief and loss. He was loved, he was hated, he was kind to some and judgmental of others. He was well educated and yet never finished a single year of college. He was an addict to both gambling and alcohol. He was a friend to many and perhaps even an inspiration to some. He wrote about death, sickness, and fear. But when you really begin to study this man, begin to study the speaking raven, and read the chilling sensation of hearing a watch enveloped in cotton, you may find something even more fascinating than fear. Thank you for listening to The Doorstep Project. This audio drama was created and produced by Family Friendly Podcasts. If you enjoyed the podcast, leave a rating and review on your podcast app of choice or share it with a friend. Leilani and the project will be back next week. Until then, write every day. One day, your story could be in a museum. The Doorstep Project is produced by Family Friendly Podcasts. It was written, edited, and performed by AJ Barton. Sound effects for this podcast are provided by Zapsplat. Music used in this podcast includes Reawakening by Kevin McLeod, licensed under the Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 license. You can learn more at his website, incompetech.com, or at creativecommons.org. Both music and sound effects have been changed and edited by AJ Barton. Links for websites, information, and contact can be found in the description of the episode. Would you like to submit your story or art to the Doorstep Project? You can find information for story submission at familyfriendlypodcast.com/The Doorstep Project. Information on CC by 4.0 licenses can be found at creativecommons.org.